If you've ever stood in front of a drawer full of half finished supplements, expensive protocols, and abandoned diets wondering what's wrong with you, I made this episode for you. In this conversation, I'm going to tell you why so many smart, disciplined, deeply committed women still aren't getting better, and why it has almost nothing to do with effort and almost everything to do with order. By the end of our time together, you'll have a brand new lens for your healing, a simple framework I use with every woman in my practice, and one shift you can make this week that costs you nothing and changes everything. If you're tired of chasing symptoms, drowning in conflicting health advice, and wondering why nothing seems to be working, but want to find the root causes of your symptoms and a clear, faith-based path forward, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Sarah Phillipe, wife, former registered nurse, and root cause practitioner. After years of chronic illness and unanswered questions, I discovered how to find the root causes of my symptoms and heal from the root while staying rooted in Christ. If you're ready to stop guessing, understand what's really causing your symptoms, and pursue healing while keeping Christ at the center, grab your coffee and let's get started. Before we jump in, I just want to make sure you have what I'm about to reference throughout this whole episode. It's my free toxic load assessment, and it's the same starting point I walk my one-on-one clients through. It'll show you which of your foundations is most overwhelmed right now so you can stop guessing and start in the right place. You can grab it at sarahphillipe.com or through the link in the show notes. Let's dive in. I want you to picture a drawer. Maybe it's in your kitchen, maybe it's in your bathroom, maybe it's that one cabinet in your pantry you don't open when company comes over. And inside that drawer is the evidence of every single time you tried to get better. Half-finished bottles of supplements, a binder from that functional medicine practitioner you saw 2 years ago, a meal plan from the elimination diet you did 6 years ago, a parasite cleanse you started and abandoned, mineral drops, liver support, adrenal cocktails, and 3 different brands of magnesium because someone on Instagram swore by each one. I call this the supplement graveyard. And if I just described your drawer, I want you to know something before we go on. You are not the problem. Your discipline is not the problem. Your willingness, also not the problem. The order is the problem. And that is what today's episode is about. Here's something I see almost every week in my practice. A woman comes to me with a folder. Sometimes it's a literal folder. Sometimes it's a Google Drive she shares with me. But it is always thick. Lab results from 3 different practitioners, a list of every supplement she's tried, the diets, the Whole30, AIP, carnivore, low FODMAP, keto, GAPS. She's done the work. She is not lazy. She is not uninformed. In a lot of cases, she knows more about her condition than the doctors she's seen. And she's still exhausted, still bloated, still anxious, still waking up at 3 a.m., still bleeding too heavily, or maybe not at all, still inflamed. And somewhere along the way, she started to wonder if something is fundamentally broken inside of her. Because if all these good protocols haven't worked, what hope is there? And I want to gently tell you what I tell her. The protocols didn't fail because you're broken. They failed because they were built on a foundation that wasn't ready to hold them. Modern wellness culture has a bias, and the bias is toward adding a supplement, adding a detox, adding a peptide, adding a fast, adding a new diet, adding a red light, adding a sauna, add. And the assumption underneath all of that adding is that your body is a machine missing parts. And if we can just find the right part to add, the machine will run again. But your body is not a machine. Your body is a system. And systems don't respond to addition the way machines do. Systems respond to order. If your drainage pathways are sluggish, every detox you do is going to stir up toxins that your body cannot escort out, and you will feel worse. If your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight, every adaptogen you try is going to bump into a body that's convinced it is being chased by a bear, and the adaptogen will not win that fight. If your gut lining is compromised, every beautiful, expensive, well-formulated supplement you can swallow is going to leak right through that barrier, a barrier that was supposed to decide what gets in and what stays out. If your minerals are depleted, every hormone protocol you try is going to ask your body to perform work it does not have the raw materials to perform. This is not a willpower problem. This is a sequencing problem, and no one taught us the sequence. Now, when I say foundations, I'm not talking about another protocol. You don't just start by taking a supplement that supports your mitochondria just because you have fatigue. I'm talking about the conditions that have to be true inside your body before any protocol can work. Foundations are unsexy. They don't come in a pretty bottle. They're not a 90-day reset you can post about. They are the quiet, daily, sometimes boring work of making your body a place where healing can actually happen. Think about it like this. If you tried to plant a garden in concrete, you wouldn't blame the seeds, right? You wouldn't keep buying more expensive seeds. You wouldn't fast from gardening for 3 days and try it again. You would break up the concrete. You would amend the soil. You would make sure water could get in and out. You would do the slow, hidden work that no one would ever take a picture of. Because without that work, nothing else really matters. Foundations are the soil. Protocols are the seeds. And most of us have been trying to throw seeds at concrete for years. Over the next several episodes, I'm going to walk you through what I consider the 4 non-negotiable foundations of healing. I want to name them here so you have the map. The first is drainage. Your body has pathways. Your liver, your bile, your colon, your lymph, your kidneys, your skin. And these pathways are designed to escort waste and toxins out of you. If those pathways are sluggish, nothing else will work because everything you stir up will have nowhere to go. The second is the nervous system. A body that does not feel safe will not heal. It will hold on to weight, hold on to inflammation, hold on to symptoms, because as far as your physiology is concerned, it's not the right season to let go. The third is the gut. Your gut is not just where digestion happens. It's where the majority of your immune system lives, where most of your serotonin is made, where the barrier between you and the outside world is decided. A leaky, inflamed, dysbiotic gut will sabotage every other system you try to support. The fourth is minerals. Minerals are kind of like the spark plugs of your cells. They help to run your thyroid, your adrenals, your heart, your hormones, your detoxification pathways. And without them, every other intervention is asking your body to do the work without the raw materials to do it. And here's what I want you to understand about why this order matters so deeply. Your mitochondria, the tiny engines inside every single cell in your body, are not broken. They are doing exactly what they were designed to do. When your body's carrying a load it can't process, whether that is toxins, infections, mineral depletion, chronic stress, your cells downshift into protection mode. They slow energy production on purpose because it's not safe to make energy when the house is on fire. This is why jumping ahead does not work. You can't ask a cell to drain, repair, or regulate when it has decided its primary job is survival. The work isn't to force the mitochondria to make more energy. The work is to remove what's forcing them to stay in protection mode. And that's why order matters. Drainage, nervous system, gut, minerals. All right, those are the foundational things. And we're going to walk through each one slowly and carefully in the episodes ahead. Let me give you a picture that I think will stay with you. Imagine you're building a house. You would not start with the curtains, right? You would not start picking out throw pillows before there were walls. You wouldn't install a chandelier before electricity was wired. You would not lay tile on a floor that had no subfloor. And yet, this is exactly what we do with our bodies. We pick out the chandelier, the trendy supplement, the expensive peptide, the celebrity-endorsed protocol, and we're confused when it crashes to the ground because there was nothing underneath it to hold it up. Foundation first, framing next, wiring and plumbing after that, and only then, at the very end, the beautiful finishing touches that make a house feel like a home. Your body deserves the same care a builder would give a house. And right now, most of the wellness industry is trying to sell you chandeliers. And I want to take this one layer deeper. Because if you've been with me through the first 4 episodes, you know I don't separate the physical from the spiritual on this show. There is a spiritual version of the protocol trap, and I think a lot of us have lived in it without realizing it. We try to add our way into wholeness. We add another Bible study. We add another conference. We add another fast. We add another devotional app. We add another church. And we're confused when we still feel anxious, disconnected. We still feel like we're performing in a relationship instead of living in one. And the answer is the same answer your body's been trying to tell you. You cannot add your way into wholeness when the foundation underneath has not been tended. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is not add another practice, but instead let the Lord rebuild something underneath. Let Him soften the soil. Let Him bring you back to the simple foundational truth that you are loved, you are held, and you are not earning anything. That is the soil. Everything else is the seed. And the order matters in your spirit just as much as it matters in your cells. Here's what I want you to do this week. I don't want you to start a new protocol. I don't want you to buy a new supplement. I don't want you to add one more thing. Instead, I want you to take a piece of paper and write down every single thing that you're currently doing for your health. Every supplement, every practice, every restriction, every routine. And then I want you to ask one more question over the whole list. Is this addressing a foundation? Or is this a chandelier I hung before the walls were up? You don't have to throw anything away. You don't have to make any changes yet. I just want you to start seeing your healing the way a builder sees a house. Because once you can see it, you can finally begin to build in the right order. If this episode named something that you've been feeling for a long time, I want to invite you to take the toxic load assessment in the show notes. It will give you a starting picture of which of the foundations need your attention first, so you're not guessing. Next week, we're going to go deep on the very first foundation, which is drainage. And I'm going to show you why, if your drainage pathways are not open, every single detox you've ever tried has actually made you feel worse, not better. It is one of the most clarifying conversations I get to have with my clients, and I cannot wait to have it with you. I'll see you then. Thanks for spending part of your day with me. If today's episode encouraged you, would you share it with another woman who feels overwhelmed by conflicting health advice and is looking for a faith-based path forward? And if you haven't already, would you please leave a review? It helps more women find the show and encourages me to know that these conversations are making a difference. Now go enjoy your coffee, spend some time with Jesus, and remember, you don't have to figure it all out today. Just take the next faithful step. I'll meet you right back here next week for another episode of Faith-Filled Healing. Until then, keep healing from the root while staying rooted in Christ.